So you've planned for retirement for 40 years, and now you're looking to work with someone who is just giving you cookie cutter approach, cookie cutter advice that they've given to 100 different people with 100 different scenarios. Is that what you should be doing with your hard-earned life savings? We're going to learn today of how to do something more specific, more tailored to what you've worked so hard for, because we believe that you're different, you have a unique situation, and everyone needs more specific guidance there. So that's what's up on today's episode of Joe Knows Retirement.
Joe knows taxes.
Joe knows the market.
Joe knows Social Security.
Joe knows income planning.
Joe knows pickleball? No.
This is Joe Knows Retirement.
So I'm not a big fan of a cookie cutter approach. I'm also not a huge fan of cookies, which may be odd to many people. I'm not a big sweets person. We've got many people here at the office who are, but something that I am not. And so we're going to talk about how having a cookie cutter approach may not be the best thing for you based on your retirement plan. Because again, this is your life savings. This is something you've worked hard for 40 years. You've saved, you've worked hard, and now you need to make sure you're not missing anything. And so we're going to talk through many ways of what to look for to ensure you're not getting a cookie cutter approach when you go to work with that financial planner to get your retirement planning set. Again, our recommendation is for anyone is to make sure you're getting professional guidance on something this serious. Yeah, you could do it on your own if you want to, and if that's the case, you can go for it. There's nothing stopping you there. I would just encourage you to make sure you're doing all the work required to maximize your situation. Make sure you're reading the changes to tax code. Make sure you're following the market and making changes to your investments based on what are the options out there. Doing your research on what you're investing. How are you picking those investments? Making sure you know how to take out money for income and retirement, making sure you've got the right software, the tools in place to make those educated and informed decisions. So if you feel comfortable doing all that on your own, then go for it. But typically what we see is that many people don't have those resources, those tools, or maybe that want to do that comprehensive planning. So that's why I would recommend, work with a firm to help you here ongoing. Whether that's us or someone else, just someone who is doing more of a comprehensive plan is really going to be the focus of what we're talking about here today. But we're going to give you some things to look out for those advisors you're looking to research and see if they're a good fit to help you ongoing. So one of the biggest ones is, are they going to come to you to the table with a product or a plan? And this is something we see often in our industry. It's mind-boggling, really, that some people will just come to the table and they'll say, all right, you should do this annuity or you should do this investment, and here's all the pros and cons, and it's just all sunshine and rainbows. There's nothing bad about it. Well, I can tell you that's probably not true, because every investment out there has its pros and cons. And so you need to make sure you have a plan, not a portfolio. And so that's something we always want to advise. So we get a lot of people that come and see us that maybe they went to a local dinner workshop with some insurance salesman there locally who talked about this big old product, this new product with all these features, all these bonuses, and it just sounded really good. And of course it does sound good, but is that what you really need? And it may not be that that product's bad. The question becomes, how does that fit in within your plan? And so if someone's just leading with a product and not fully getting an understanding of your situation, not having a tax plan behind why they're recommending that product, or a plan of, what are they going to do with it, you're probably getting sold a product and not a plan. And if you're going to work with someone like that, they're going to get a big commission, and they're not going to do any work for you, is my opinion. They're just going to sell your product. And so I would rather see you work with someone who is going to develop a plan. And if that's the product you really want, most financial planners can get you whatever you want. They're typically independent and can offer whatever solution or investment is out there. So just understand that you can get both. And you may not have to pay, more for it, right? Because you're not paying that person a fee to buy that product. And so that's the idea there to look out for. So again, if they're, an insurance salesman, just watch out. We want someone who does comprehensive financial planning would be the idea. And we see that very often. Another thing to look out for is, do they only do investment management? I'd say this is one of the biggest ones that we see with people who come and work with us, is they tell us, my advisor only does investment management. He doesn't do any tax planning. He doesn't do any other planning. They don't have an attorney that they work closely with to get the estate planning documents done or give advice on that. They're simply just managing my investments. And then we always ask, what type of fee are you paying? And typically what they say is around 1%. And I'll tell you right now very clearly that if you're paying 1% for only investment management, you are overpaying. And what I'd recommend is two options. One, if that's all you're looking for is investment management, you can get it done much cheaper. There's many options out there where you can still get professional investment management for probably at least a half of that cost, or maybe even lower, depending on what you're looking for. So if that's all you're looking for, don't overpay for that. But if you're looking for a comprehensive retirement plan, it will cost you around 1% if you really want all the details. Obviously, it's going to depend on what your situation is. Maybe you pay less than that if you've had more saved. But that's the idea, that if you're going to pay a full fee, get full service. Get 5 pillars of retirement planning, not just one pillar of retirement planning. If someone's doing 1 out of the 5 things that they need to do, and they're charging a full fee, you're not getting the most value out of the fees that you're paying. So that's what I'd always recommend, is that if that's the case, just be aware. If you're just looking for investment management, just make sure they're charging a fair cost there, would be my recommendation there. Another thing that we look at off of that point is that 5-pillar approach, right? So something that we do with our clients is we offer that comprehensive approach to ensure that we don't miss anything. There's a lot to retirement planning. There's a lot of decisions to make, and what we found is that most decisions play off of each other. And so with our process, we look to have everything foundational around the tax plan. That is the start of the plan. That's the main thing we need in line, because every decision we make interferes with taxes in some way, is typically what we see. For example, when we take out money from our investments to live on for income and retirement, now that we know how to have a paycheck coming in, that's going to impact our tax when we go pay taxes at the end of the year. Maybe we force ourselves in a higher bracket. Maybe we now force Medicare premiums, which is healthcare planning. Maybe now we start to pay more for healthcare because of that. And so all of it plays around that tax plan. And that's why we need a solid, comprehensive approach there. We also feel it's very valuable to have it all in one place, versus having all these experts all over the place that aren't communicating to each other. Making sure you've got it, in one place that can really be the quarterback to everything that you're needing, with the estate plan, with the tax plan, with the income plan, the investment plan, the healthcare plan, right? What do we do for Medicare when we turn 65 and ongoing? Do we have the best supplemental Medicare plan out there? And so that's something we do for our clients, is to shop that out to make sure they're getting what they need there, all in one place there is the idea. So again, if they don't come to you with a comprehensive approach, if they're charging that full fee, maybe something you want to look into further. The next point I want to bring up here of that cookie cutter advice that we see often is if they have no software. They're just kind of, here you go, here's a plan, and hope for the best. And then you may ask them a couple questions, and they don't really get any more insider advice of what to do. And so like a firm like us, we're making sure we use a lot of sophisticated software to get to the results that we're looking for. We use a lot of tax planning software that allows us to best calculate. For example, maybe we want to do a Roth conversion. Well, should we do a Roth conversion is the first question we ask, and our software helps us show that. The next question is how much should we convert, and over how many years should we convert? Should we convert over 10 years, 2 years, 3 years? Should we convert 100,000, 200,000, 10,000? Those are all the decisions that software is helping us make. And then we're able to project out to see, hey, if we convert X amount, how much savings is that going to lead to? Is that going to lead us to having a higher net worth or lower net worth at the end of time based on our assumptions? And so those are the things that you really want to look into. Again, a cookie cutter approach is just saying, yep, do this and that will work. Well, what is the impact of doing that? What about all those things I've discussed earlier? Medicare premiums, Social Security. Do they have software that's factoring all that stuff together so you're not missing anything? Would be the idea. Also ensuring that you got obviously enough money to retire. Are they running in-depth numbers to see what that's going to look like? So those would be all things that we would recommend, that when you're looking for that advisor, make sure that they've got the tools and the resources to give you the best advice. The next thing I want to talk about is how many times do they reach out to you? We see in our industry that the number one reason people leave their financial advisor is because of communication. And I'm sure that's probably true for you too. You probably feel that that's a similar value, because the surveys show that is the most important thing for people looking for financial guidance moving forward. And so something that we do at our firm that we would hope that you would work with a firm that has this type of approach. Again, if you are going to pay a fee, is we meet with our clients at least once a year to do a full plan update, to do a full tax plan, to make sure that we've got everything in place. And so sometimes we meet with our clients more than once a year, just depending on what their needs are and when that occurs. So that's something you want to make sure you're aware of. But also, one time is just not enough. If you just hear from your advisor one time a year and that's it, there's a lot that happens during the year. So something that we do with our clients is we reach out to them every quarter. So we do what we call quarterly touch points, where we're not just calling someone and saying, hey, how you doing? How's the weather down there? How's the weather down in Florida? How's the weather in California? We've got clients all across the country, which makes it fun. But it's not necessarily improving their plan, right? It's great to have a great relationship and have those conversations, which we do with our clients, but they're paying us to see results. And so we do, to get what what people are paying us, we want to make sure that we over deliver value. And so we're reaching out to them with, hey, here's what we see within your plan that we feel we can do differently. Here's something we feel we can do better. Here's a tax law change that we feel we can now take advantage of. And so those are all things that we're doing, holding them accountable to get certain things done throughout the year. So we always joke with our clients, hey, if you don't like us now, you're definitely not going to like us if you work with us, because we're very proactive and we don't want to be reactive. If someone's continually calling us and telling us, hey, let's do this, let's do that, I feel like we're not doing our job. I feel like we have to get ahead of those things, because at the end of the day, this is what we look at every day. The client shouldn't have to look at this every single day. So that's our approach. That's our opinion. That's why we try to deliver a really high level of service to the clients we work with. And we've committed to, hey, we can't serve everyone if we're going to commit to this level of service. And we really have to have that specialized niche and that specific criteria for our clients that we work with. So again, working with someone who is going to best serve you for what you're looking for is something that's important, right? If you're working with an advisor who specializes in helping every age demographic, they're helping pilots, they're helping federal employees, they're helping military, they're helping state employees, they're doing it all. How good are they going to be at that specific situation for you, if you are a retiree? And so something we committed to as a firm is we serve people who are in or near retirement who have been a diligent saver and who need more advanced type planning, more tax planning. Is typically what our clients come to us with. They typically have a large amount in tax deferred dollars. That's going to be a big tax burden, or maybe a large amount in taxable accounts where they've got capital gains concerns moving forward. And so that's what we specialize in. Most of our clients are the same type of persona. It's the same type of plan that, yes, we're not using a cookie cutter approach, but we've seen that case so many different times that we know how to look at it with the expertise that we're looking at there. So again, just working with someone who specializes in what you're looking for. Is it retirement planning? Is your goal to, legacy planning, right? Do you have a firm that makes sure that they specialize in that area? Or are you looking to really reduce taxes? Maybe you're looking for a comprehensive approach like we talked about. And so that's where you want to make sure you work with a firm who's going to do that for you. But make sure they're working with you, make sure they're working hard for you, they're communicating with you. And if they do all of that, then I'd say that you can, make sure you can feel confident with that retirement plan moving forward. Again, you don't want any cookie cutter advice with your retirement. You've worked so hard for this. It's just not enough to just say, hey, here's what we do for everyone. Good luck. Again, you want it to be more tailored and custom to what you're looking at, and that would be our advice. And so if you are looking for more specific advice, you don't want that cookie cutter approach, if you feel it'd be valuable to get on our calendar, explore what it looks like to work with us, and obviously you can have that opportunity if you just go to the description. So if you're watching our podcast here or listening to our podcast, you can go to the description or go to our website and peakretirementplanning.com, and you can schedule a time with us. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, it's just in the description below, and that would be an opportunity for you to meet with our team and get an analysis of your situation and just see if we could help you ongoing, or if not, or at least make sure you have the right direction of who to go to, who may be able to serve you better, is something that we're committed to. So we are in high demand right now, so if you go to our website, you'll be able to fill in some information and get on our calendar, and we can see if we can help you or not, is what we would do there. So at the end of the day, don't follow that cookie cutter approach. Have a great day. We'll keep these videos coming, and so stay tuned and make sure you subscribe, and you'll get updates when we do these every week. So have a great day.
Since we do not know your specific situation, none of this information can serve as tax, legal, insurance, or financial advice and may be outdated or inaccurate. The information comes from sources believed to be reliable but cannot be guaranteed. This content is prepared for educational purposes only. If you need advice, please contact a qualified CPA, attorney, insurance agent, financial advisor, or the appropriate professional for the subject you would like help with. Peak Retirement Planning, Inc. is an Ohio-based registered investment advisor and able to offer advisory services in Ohio and in other states where registered or exempt from registration.